you,
Try to
for
press
Ms.
it.
Gambrell, if you did not sign the register when you came in, if you would sign it when you go out, please. But it's so,
Yeah.
it is so good to see such a large crowd and to have all these recognitions coming up. I'd ask you to stand for the invocation by Ms. Melissa Hood and remain standing for the pledge of allegiance. Ms. Hood.
Let's pray. Father, we thank you so much for bringing us here this evening. We thank you for all these amazing students and their families who've come to celebrate their achievements. We lift up Isaac Wigington and the Wigington family to you, Lord, and ask for healing. We ask that you give us wisdom and decisions and be with us throughout the evening. In your name we pray.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Ms. Hood. Our next item is item number 4, which is approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion that we approve tonight's agenda? Ms. Olson, do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Wilson, we're ready to vote. All those in favor, if you'd show it by the uplifted hand. And that is unanimous. All right, item number 5 is the minutes of our September 24th meeting. Do we have any corrections or additions to be made at this time? Hearing none, I will need a vote to approve these minutes. Ms. Cox, do I have a second? Second. Ms. Hood, all those in favor, show it by the uplifted hand. And that is unanimous. Next item, Dr. Young, would you recognize our press, please?
Yes, ma'am. I'd like to recognize Mr. David Mead from the Williamson Journal. Just thank him for being here tonight.
And then we have some recognitions. You want to go ahead with that?
Yes, ma'am. I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Moore, our Chief Academic Officer. And he has several folks here to be recognized, and he might just have to talk loud instead of using the microphone.
That sounds like a winner to me. I'm going to speak loud. So good evening. I'm glad that you're here. Appreciate our friends at Palmetto Middle School for hosting. Appreciate you for supporting Anderson One and our students. And we have a great night tonight because we get to recognize some schools for their hard work and dedication and recognition. And then obviously some students in our midst. So let me share with the board. We're going to, first of all, celebrate from some of our schools, students that score a perfect score. That means they got every question correct on SC Ready. That's grades 3 through 8. And got what they call the highest attainable scale score. That's difficult. Now, I'm 45, and I don't think I would be able to stand up here like some of these students if I took it today. So congratulations to those students with a perfect score. And then also, we've got some schools that earn a good or excellent rating on our most current report card. And that's difficult to do. We're talking about proficiency, we're talking about growth on our state test, and just parents and visitors, those of you that aren't aware, we put out a press release in proficiency. Your student attends a school in a district that's top 4 in the state on proficiency, 3rd through 8th grade. And that is phenomenal. So we have a lot to celebrate tonight. So I'm going to kind of just facilitate that, and then we're going to have our school leadership that's here help join in on the celebration. So I want to start with Cedar Grove and Mr. White. They have a perfect score.
I'm Matt White, principal at Cedar Grove Elementary. I am very pleased and excited to recognize a fantastic student who received a perfect score on the math portion of SC Ready, Mr. Ethan Pierce.
We got if you want to look that direction. Great job. All right, thank you. rating on our most recent report card and Palmetto Silver recognition, and that is a very wonderful honor for them. So we're going to invite Hunt Meadows here to be recognized. Great job, thank you. We have Palmetto Elementary School to recognize the perfect score.
Good evening. Ms. Hill and I would like to recognize Ms. Bailey Figueroa Espinosa for a perfect score on math.
Thank you. Up next, we would invite Ms. Horn, I believe, Powdersville Elementary School. Ms. Horn, if you want to recognize your perfect scores.
Hi, I'm Ms. Horn at Powdersville Elementary School, and it's my pleasure to be able to stand up here and recognize numerous students. We say all the time, it's all stakeholders who make this possible. It's a partnership between school and home and our staff and students. So very excited to recognize all of these students this evening. So we will start with Ms. Darcy Kitchen, who has Up next, we have Mason Dempsey. Next, we have Cooper Day. Xavier Degas. David Garrison. Ellis Hudgens. Audrey Thomas. Jacob Woods. And Chase Wyatt.
Also, at this time, want to invite any faculty, staff, members from Powdersville Elementary School. If you want to join us with these students and Ms. Horn, that'd be great. And then we'll get an entire group picture. So, Powdersville Elementary School is recognized as an excellent report card with Palmetto Gold recognition. So, we're very proud of those folks. Thank you. Do I have it up? No, I actually did. There you go. Up next, Mr. Leslie Spearman, we have some perfect scores.
Hi, I'm Jason Leslie. I'm principal at Spearman Elementary School, and of course we had some
amazing students who did really well on the test. All our third, fourth, and fifth graders did an amazing job, but we had a handful that had a perfect score on math, so I'd like to call them up at this time. We have Scout Cunningham. John Parker Godwin. Braden Hoffman. AJ Johnson. Theo James. Levi Allison. Beckett Oronzio. Benjamin Schultz. Grant Moran. And Nolan Bray.
Spearman faculty and staff that are here that would like to join us, you're welcome to join us, Spearman. So we are proud of these students and proud also to recognize the faculty and staff at Spearman for achieving Palmetto Silver and a good report card rating. Thank you. Congratulations. All right, up next, I believe we have Ms. Bagel from West Pelzer that has some perfect scores to recognize.
Good evening, I'm Amy Bagel, principal at West Pelzer Elementary School, and I am incredibly proud and honored to celebrate the excellent growth and achievement at West Pelzer, and especially students with a perfect math score, Manuel Roman Chico.
We have any faculty and staff from West Pelzer here, you're more than welcome to join us. And obviously so proud to recognize West Pelzer, who achieved an excellent report card rating with Palmetto Gold recognition. Thank you. Ms. Sutton?
Hello, I am Delaney Sutton, I'm the principal at Brennan Elementary, and I am proud to celebrate 3 students who have perfect scores on math. The first is Micah Mitchell. Next, Emma Porras. And last is Dharma Ryan.
All right, any faculty and staff from Wren Elementary that may be here, you're welcome to join us here at the front. And certainly proud to recognize Wren Elementary for their good report card rating. Moving on to middle school, I believe Mr. Croston is here to represent Palmetto Middle tonight.
Hey, good evening. My name is Nathan Croston. I'm not the principal of Palmetto Middle School. Jason McCauley apologizes he could not be here. He is at a cross-country meet with his son this evening, but we did have 3 perfect scores in math this past year that we would like to recognize. First, in 6th grade, Owen Grummelot. Second, in 8th grade, Jace Yates. They're getting taller than I am now. And third, Jesse Booz in 8th grade.
If we have any faculty and staff from Palmetto Middle, you're welcome to join us at the front. And we want to recognize Palmetto Middle School for their good report card rating. Great job. All right, Powersville Middle School, we have Mr. Vinegar and Mr. Williams, I think, here.
Hey, good evening. I'm Todd Vinegar, principal at Powersville Middle, and this is Kevin Williams, assistant principal. We're certainly thankful to be here tonight to congratulate our 4 students who had a perfect score on the SC Red. When I call your name, please come on up. Steele Gamble. Samuel Hood. Judy Hughes. And Asher Plate.
Powersville Middle School faculty and staff, you're welcome to join us as we recognize Powersville Middle for an excellent report card and Palmetto Silver. Representing Wren Middle School.
Macy Klein. Noah Lindsay. Parth Patel. And Elizabeth Smith.
And of course, if there are any middle school faculty and staff, you are obviously welcome to join us here at the front. And we want to recognize Room Middle School for their good report card rating. All right, thank you. We would invite Mr. Roach and any Palmetto High School faculty and staff that may be here. And glad to present this to Mr. Roach for a good report card rating at Palmetto High School. All right, we have Powdersville High School. We can have Dr. Lanford and any Powdersville High School faculty and staff that may be here. Certainly proud to present this to Dr. Lanford, an excellent report card rating and Palmetto Silver recognition. Dr. Whitfield, anyone else from Wren High School present, certainly can come forward. We are proud of Wren High School and want to present to them this recognition for an excellent report card and Palmetto Silver. So that took some time, but I just want to do this. If you are a student here tonight and you receive recognition for a perfect score, would you stand up one more time? Palmetto's Finest, and we have 3 schools that are actually going to get a visit as part of this Palmetto's Finest program. West Pelzer, Wren Elementary School, Powdersville High School, and that's phenomenal. So big round of applause for those 3 schools. Okay, and Dr. Young has informed me we have a perfect score. So students, we want all of you to come to the front and take a picture with our board as we wrap things up this evening. Any students with a perfect score? excellent report card rating, we want you to take a picture with our board as well.
Is this secondary or high school? I would think. It's excellent. Oh, excellent.
Yes, I think they want excellent. He doesn't tell them.
It's upside down. It's upside down.
Really? As I wrap things up, one thing that I failed to do that I need to do is recognize Miss Sherry Patrick from Concrete. So what you might not know is that in Concrete Primary, they don't have tested grade levels, so they're K through 2. But those students being in the Powersville Elementary School that you just saw was recognized as an excellent school with Palmetto Gold. So Ms. Paget, would you stand up and at least be seen and wave and recognize? Once Ms. Upton gives us some instructions, we want you to know, parents and families, students, that we have a reception out here just through those doors, and we want to thank Sissy Swing and Ashley Bagwell, Heather Gambrell for all of their hard work in setting that up. I also want to thank our instructional team at the district office. They've been huge in providing the environment and support where we get to achieve this level of success. And finally, and last but not least, we have a school board that sits behind me. They have the leadership, the vision to allow us to set the conditions for this type of success. We have a room full of celebration tonight, and it's taking some extra time that we typically don't use in a board meeting. So if we can have a big round of applause for our board, and
thank you so much for sharing your child with us. And thank you for being a part of the best school district in South Carolina. You're free to go, you're welcome to stay, but if I were y'all, I would go.
Sure about that. He had his What? Oh, where you go now?
Yes, well, that's what she said.
Yes.
Hey, this might not be the best time to ask this question.
You left it. I did. I'm so excited.
Ms. Uppy, before we move on to the next part of the board meeting, you always talk about welcome to the best school district in the state. You just told the students they're part of the best school district in the state, and according to one of the rating systems out there, Neat.com, we were the number one school district in the state. So they're pretty good to say.
Yes, they do. Okay, we will move next to item 7, which is public comment. Before our speaker comes, I want to read from board policy BEDH, public participation in meetings. The public is cordially invited to attend board meetings. The board conducts meetings for the purpose of carrying on the official business of the school district. The meetings are not public forum meetings or are meetings held in public. Orderly conduct of the meeting does not permit spontaneous discussion from the audience. Regular, special, and emergency meetings are open to the general public, news media, and school staff. Speakers during the public comment time may offer objective comments on school operations and programs that concern them. The board will not permit in any public session any expression of personal complaints about school personnel or against any person connected to the school system. Our speaker has been given this information in advance. Please make sure you adhere to this policy.
should. We'll try, but there might be some feedback, but hopefully it'll work.
There was a lot of feedback. Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Let me know if I'm too close because I can't hear myself.
We can hear you.
You're good.
I'm just gonna wait for the door to close. Hi, I'm Casey DePasquale. This is probably definitely over the dozenth time I've spoken to the school district since the fall of 2022. My concern comes from an overall tyrannical takeover of our federal government right now, and it's happening. This Marxist movement for the takeover from the system from within, from strategically placed people and programming tools, of which I've expressed some of my concerns about the programming tools being used in the school district as well as the state. My primary focus of what today's meeting was, I was triggered to see that the board had on the agenda that they were going to have a second reading of 8 policies, of which after a 2-hour conversation I had with Dr. Seth Young and Mr. Brad Moore yesterday, all 8 are coming in from a push from the state policy from the top down. And it was expressed to me that there is some uncomfortable settling that school funding from the state is going to be withheld if you don't give in to the edicts of the state. So one primary one that's really killing me, although I can justify banning a phone in a classroom many times over. I'm a classroom teacher for over 20 years. But this one was actually a repeal and replace policy, keeping the same policy number. The old school policy actually was titled Cell Phones, Paging Devices, and Other Communication Devices, which was originally originated in 2003, revised in 2008, 2014, and 2018. And just recently, in June of this year, the school district received a memorandum from the Policy and Legal Advisor, Division of Legal Affairs from the South Carolina Department of Education, saying that based on this one survey, which they think they've got approximately 20% of the educators responding to, which the district acknowledges doesn't know if any of the teachers from this school district were caught in that response rate, you have to pick up a policy to ban cell phones. So essentially, this is a proviso that was incorporated in the budget, the state budget, that said, it was called the Anti-Bullying School Safety. Safety is a huge thing on the propaganda agenda of transforming the system from within. Anyway, it says, to receive state funds allocated for state aid to classrooms, a school district shall implement a policy adopted by the State Board of Education that prohibits access to personal electronic communication devices by students during the day. For the purposes of this provision, a personal electronic communication device is considered to be a device not authorized for classroom use by a student, utilized to access the internet, Wi-Fi, or cellular telephone phone signals. Now, in the red line policy changes, of which I was sent from the superintendent just over the weekend, because they're not available to the public online, this actually is going to be a policy change to change the title to Prohibition of Personal Electronic Devices During the Day. Now, current state law 59-63-280 states that, let me get the exact wording here. For purposes of this section, paging device means a telecommunications to include mobile telephones device that emits audible signal, vibrates, displays a message, or otherwise summons or delivers a communication to the possessor. Now, the provision contradicts this definition in law, because this is what the provision is now saying must be adapted into the policy under definition of personal electronic device. Hereinafter referred to as device means any device utilized to access the internet, Wi-Fi, cellular phone signals, or to capture images or video. That's the change. This includes but is not limited to cell phones, smartwatches, tablets, and gaming devices. Now, I mentioned programming tools. This is where the propaganda comes in. Most of these tools that you have in the school district, from my firsthand experience in 2 other tyrannical state education systems, are sitting there Trojan horse programs. You're just waiting for the right legislative piece to come in and open their Pandora's box of the propaganda agenda that we see this country is currently under attack for. So, my question is first of all, I'm asking you to push back on this because, if we leave, I'm just gonna read the definition, extortion is the illegal use of one's official position or powers to obtain property, funds, or patronage. And in addition, if you do create this policy, if you completely abolish the policy you've already approved 4 times in the past recent years, if you approve it, you will get your state funding, and you also can apply for extra money in the school state budget committee, so it's bribery on top of it.
Thank you for coming, your time is up. Okay. Dr. Young, you wanna move ahead to the next time?
Yes, ma'am, I can try to use, the microphone. Next is up is the financial report. In your notebooks, under the September tab, you can see our school activity funds, the local accounts for each of our schools that you got to review. Following the different school funds, the blue pages, you see our investments as of September 30th, 2024. You'll see that we have 47 CDs, with approximately $10.67 million invested that accrued $292,000 of interest. And you also see our 2 food service CDs, which have about $396,000 invested, with $4,300 interest. The third page shows the different accounts and investments. Fourth page is back up to pages 1 through 3. The next page is back up to page 4. The following page is back up to page 5. And then the last page is back up to page 6. And Mr. Thomas will wrap up our financial report.
Yeah. How is, I know we run an athletic programs, a lot of gate receipts for football, and we missed the game, I think, across the district, right?
So actually,
but we've had good crowds otherwise, I think, right?
We actually got fairly lucky. Our teams were on the road the first week that the games were canceled, and then the second week the games were canceled. One of the teams was on the road, and then those games are actually going to be made up on November the 8th. So our teams actually did lose varsity Friday night home football games. We did lose JV games, and our coaches have worked hard to be able to reschedule with other teams that lost games. So for the most part, we did okay. And selfishly, we actually saved a road trip.
Thank you.
Mr. Thomas?
All right, I'm gonna get to use the microphone here. The next report is our 2022 building program, subfund 502.
I'm sorry, can you speak up a little bit? Thank you.
The total revenue in that account, $27 million. Total building program expenses, $14.6 million. And you can see our current building program balance, just under $12.8 million. Got a couple of projects ongoing, concrete primary renovations, as well as, of course, Oak Hill Elementary. It's underway. And then we also have completed projects that were paid out of that fund, Powdersville Middle Field remediation, as well as Powdersville High School stadium expansion. Following report is our local option sales tax report, which is subfund 515. We had no revenue received in the month of September, but you can see below that our beginning fund balance is $21 million, plus interest for the month, less expenses for the month, brings our ending fund balance to $20.7 million in our local option sales tax for September. Following that is our revenue report for school board. You can see all of our revenue accounts listed. Revenue received in the month of September totals $6.1 million. And total revenue received year to date, $17,930,000, which is at 16% of budget, which is exactly where we were percentage-wise sometime last year. And the last report, our expenditure report for school board, it's 2 pages, total on the second page there. Expenses for the month of September total $9.4 million, and total expenses year to date $21.5 million, which puts us at 19% of budget, again, in line with where we were same time last year, percentage-wise.
I have a question. The big concert is going to happen in June in Anderson. We haven't got precedent from that.
We did get that actually. There wasn't as much difference as we would have hoped, although we're still getting in good return on that. We're still getting in, generally over $800,000 a month in our watches. Still doing really, really good.
Any other questions? Okay, next, our instructional report.
Ms. Upton, we have one more part of the financial.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
With our fund balance, as you know, over the last several years, our fund balance has become healthier and healthier to the point where we have quite a bit of fund balance, the general fund balance that was 29% of our general fund budget. And so we were gonna, Mr. Thomas was gonna propose moving some of the general fund balance to the capital fund project.
We've spoken with our auditors. We're actually kind of finishing up the audit for this year. What we were hoping to do with the ongoing building program that we have, the elementary school that's going up, we knew that was going to be a big cost. We were trying to pool our resources together the best we can. We were hoping to use the excess, the overage of the 25% of fund balance to go towards the building of the school and ongoing projects.
So in order to account for that, move that money into our capital fund project, we would need to make a motion for any portion of the fund balance above 25% to be moved into the capital fund project. We need a motion for that.
And we expect that to be, we're still finalizing, but somewhere around $5 million. I think that dollar amount will be somewhere in that ballpark.
Okay, we have a recommendation, Ms. Osborne.
Okay, I make a motion, to designate the unassigned general fund balance exceeding 25% of the fiscal year 25. General funds budget to the capital fund budget.
Okay, we have a motion, do I have a second? Second. Ms. Burgess, any discussion?
So this is just this fiscal year, correct?
Yes.
We did this first time. Yes. Alright. No further discussion, we're ready to vote, all those in favor, please show it by the uplifted hand. And that is unanimous. Okay, I'm sorry about that, Dr. Young, I just saw it on down in my notes. Okay, go ahead.
For the instructional report, we spent 30 minutes celebrating some of the positive things that have been going on in Anderson School District 1 for the past year. So we felt like that would suffice for the instructional report for this month. So we're going to give Mr. Moore the night off there.
Okay, we'll move next to the student nutritional report.
Yes, ma'am. So I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Brady.
Thank you, Dr. Young. We continue to see strong participation from our CDP schools, both Spearman and Wren Elementary School. We did have quite a setback, as so many other folks, with the hurricane. The revenue was down over $15,000 due to school closure of 2 days. Also, projected revenue loss was about $76,000, with $51,000 being discarded food. I do want to take a moment to shout out to Mr. Dawkins and our Director of Maintenance, Mr. Leslie. Their undertaking of trying to save as much food as possible, moving food from freezers that did have power. They worked all weekend. They really did an amazing job with their team. So I do want to say a special recognition to those two gentlemen and their departments. Thank you, Dr. Young.
And I'll add to that before we move on to the administration report that some of the food that was going to be discarded, we were able to donate to some of the volunteers that were clearing roads. We were able to feed linesmen through partnering with churches that were sites to have folks that just really helped get us back to normal. So it was really great to see the community support that we were able to partner with and get folks taken care of. They were, we had folks from Pennsylvania, Florida, all over the place that were here in Andersonville and working on power lines, working on the roads, and we were able to give them a hot meal from Andersonville, so it was great.
What about generators for some of the freezers? Is that not price?
So after going through all that, we've actually worked with Mr. Dawkins and our student nutrition services to see about getting some generators. We probably have a generator here with the new freezer, looking at pricing for here, in the middle, and then we will, at the new school, that's going to have such a large kitchen that it will make sure we have something there, so that in the future we have a generator to protect us from that, so that we have a centralized location in each feeder where we can move food to keep out. All right, next I'm going to turn over to Dr. Wilson for the administration report.
Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Young. First on the report, we had second reading of a group of policies. I'd like to request that since none of these policies are required to be approved at this time, that we move those to the next month. And I certainly can share more information about that with you later, but none of these have to be approved at this point. There's nothing pressing, so I'm just asking, we'll just move those to next month, and I'll bring them again next month. The second item I have is we put the calendar out. I didn't get a single comment from the public related to the calendar. All four other school districts have passed this calendar, so I would like at this time to ask the board to approve the 2025-26 school calendar, so we're in line with the other four Anderson school districts.
You've heard Dr. Wilson's recommendation that we approve the 25-26 school calendar. I have a motion.
There's no way that Thanksgiving thing still baffles me.
Yes, sir. It was one of those that was not something we were in favor of as a district. We lost that vote this year. There will be years, I don't think there's any way possible it could be an entire week and still get the days in we needed. There are a couple of districts that very strongly have wanted this, a couple of boards in other districts.
Because it flies in the face of the logic that we want to get testing in before the holidays. Then you take a full week off and then come back for testing. So I just want to go on record and say I think there's a better way to do it. We need to do some more research of other school districts. And I don't like all this early start date and stuff. So I've said it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I need a motion that we adopt the calendar for 2025 and 26.
I so move.
Ms. Burgess, I need a second. Ms. Olson, any other discussion? Hearing none, we're ready to vote. All those in favor, please show it by the uplifted hand. All those opposed, like sign. So, you got those? Ms. Kim? Okay, good.
Thank
All
you.
right.
I'm sorry.
You go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. The next item is an item that, as you know, the state is now requiring all of our PTSOs to provide a form to the board for approval that has officers, and as well as we're in the process of running background checks on all of the treasurers or folks that would be dealing with money for those groups. We have 3 more that have come to us. Sometimes it takes a little while for schools to get their new people in place. So as long as we approve it, it's fine. There's no real time. So we've got Palmetto High School's athletic booster, Powdersville Elementary's PTSO, and then West Pelzer's PTO. So I would ask the board to approve these parent organization booster club forms.
You forgot Wilson's recommendation to approve these parent organization booster club forms. I have a motion. Ms. Cox, do I have a second? Ms. Burgess, in discussion? We're ready to vote. All those in favor, please show it by the uplifted hand, and that is unanimous.
Thank you. If folks would put their attention towards our board, we were asked to share some information about our ALICE overview, so I'm going to do a little bit of that, talk a little bit about safety and what we're doing in this district to ensure that our students and staff are safe. I want to start with ALICE, and I'll kind of go through and explain it. So first of all, why do we need something like ALICE? It's important that we know that of the active shooter events that have happened across our nation, that 70% of those are over within 5 minutes. So a lot of times they're over before law enforcement's really ever there to respond outside the resource officer. So it's critical that we have something that our students and our staff know to do and how do they handle the situation if we have to deal with it. So we have selected years ago the program called ALICE. ALICE stands for Alert, Lockdown, Inform, Counter, and Evacuate. That's the acronym that ALICE is for. So I'm gonna walk through those real quick. ALICE is a system of alert and response. Just like we do fire drills and tornado drills and earthquake drills, we also do ALICE drills with our students to ensure they know what to do. It's really based on an intruder or somebody in the building that should not be there that poses some danger to us and our students. And we understand our number one responsibility is the safety of our kids as school administrators. So that's the reason we've gone down this road. It starts with an alert. If anything happens in our school that would lead us to believe our students are in danger in some way, ALICE starts with an alert system. That alert is normally that we realize somebody is either outside the building coming in or already in the building that is unsafe. And we make sure students understand what that alert is going to happen. We encourage our students to see something, say something. It may be a student that alerts us. We want students to have their eyes open if something's in the building that they don't feel comfortable with or doesn't seem. And we train our students in this process. This is one of those times you cannot ignore your teacher. You know what it's like for sometimes middle schoolers and high schoolers, they kind of tune us out. So they know when we alert ALICE, that they're going to pay attention. It can be life or death for them. So alert, and then we have a lockdown. Part of this process is we teach folks, if you can get out and get away, get out and get away. So evacuation may be the first thought. If something happens, if we're in this building, something happens in the gym, which is all the way on the other side of the building, and we know that's where the incident is, we will get out that door. There's no need for us to be in this building. So we train teachers and students that if once we know where the individual is, they may make the choice to evacuate. If they don't evacuate or we don't have enough information, then we lock down. Lockdown is basically somebody's breached the building, we sound the alarm, teachers go in, lock the doors, turn off the lights, students move away from the doors. We have coverings for our door windows. Most of our doors have a window. And that's a safety issue for teachers so you can see in. So we have a process that those are covered. Students then remain quiet. And then if we realize we're not going to be able to get out, the process we teach is staff and students to barricade those doors. So we'll push everything in our entire classrooms, heavy bookcases up against those doors to allow where someone can't come in. Inform. One of the things that's changed, when I first started this business, we used to do all kind of funny card systems, and code blues, code reds, code yellows. Nobody knew what that meant, and you people that were hired didn't know what that meant necessarily. People would forget, now is that a blue or a red? We would have to put out cards outside of our door that said either red, something's wrong, or green, everything's fine. Well, the perpetrator in the building would all of a sudden see all these green cards and know that's where I can go get people because they have green cards. So law enforcement, all of this training came from law enforcement, FBI, and Homeland Security. they realized that you need to just use plain language. So now we clearly say over the loudspeaker, there is an intruder in the building, they're on this hall, they're walking near this building. So we clearly use easy to understand language so folks know what's going on. Clear and direct, and we also communicate with staff through radios, through phones, and intercom systems. We'll be introducing you to our new Raptor system here, which is a phone-based alert system that any teacher in our building would have the ability to call an alert and shut down the building. So it wouldn't have to wait and get called to the office. The office then makes a determination if we need to shut down. If we were in a classroom, we saw somebody coming trying to get in a door outside the classroom area, I, as a teacher, could push a button and lock the school down, which we think is going to make us a lot safer. And that's a part of our new information system. Counter, this is probably the most controversial piece that if you look at in the safety world. For our older students, if someone were to breach, we teach older students how to distract and basically attack somebody that comes into your room with a gun. If they're in your building and you have no choice but to defend yourself or get shot, there have been so many cases that law enforcement said students were sitting or hiding under desks and the perpetrators just went along and just took them out. So we teach them how to throw things to distract, and then for older kids to actually go after the intruder. And while we hope we never have to use that, it's been our philosophy, and most of the folks that we've talked with parent-wise, they would much rather their child try to do something if they had to defend themselves versus being sitting up for somebody that's trying to harm them. We hope we never have to use that. We don't teach that for our younger children, but certainly for high school kids, they certainly can do that, and that would be something we would talk about. And we talk about even if you could just distract the noise and move and just try to deal with it. So, and then I mentioned before, evacuation is a decision that may be made if you think you can get out. We have reunification sites and rally points in all of our schools that folks know if I were to leave the building, I would hide somewhere until things were safe, and this is where I would go. So we've got that planned out, and our teachers and we even share with our students, and so we know what that would be. So that's the ALICE process. We've had ALICE in place a number of years. It has been one of the premier programs of its type. We train every teacher and every student every year, so they know what and how to do. We feel like it's made us somewhat safer in the situation that we would have to do what we have to do. Also wanted just to remind y'all, this school district has been proactive in safety for a long time. It was the first district in the upstate to have resource officers. And y'all remember when the state decided to put them in, they decided anybody that already had them, we're not going to fund those. But if we had waited like a lot of the districts around us, we could have gotten funding for resource officers, but we would have had schools that were less safe. And this board understood that and chose, even though it cost us money, y'all decided we're going to have resource officers anyway. So that was important. We spent money on secure vestibules. We now have a system in every single one of our schools that it's going to take some effort for somebody to get through and into that school. Whereas before, they could get in the front door, they had access to the entire school. So that's been something that this board has done in the last couple of years. And then you've allowed us to provide state-of-the-art camera systems that I'm going to talk a little bit about what they can do. But the ability that we've had to be able to monitor and know what's outside coming in has been invaluable. As well as it's helped us tremendously when we've had issues with students to go back and see what happened and how it happened. Those camera systems have definitely made us safer. And students will tell you it is a deterrent. They have to go find somewhere if they're going to do something because there's cameras everywhere. And that's all. So, what are we thinking of next? I mentioned before the advanced camera systems. We're in the process of looking at purchasing a weapons detection system. That system allows us to see anybody in the range of that camera that would have a gun in their hand, a barrel coming out of a backpack. It's AI, so it can determine what the gun is, what it looks like, can alert us before they ever get to the building and lock us down. It will go through the Raptor system. As soon as they see something, there'll be an alert. We lock down. If it's a false alarm, we can fix that pretty quick. We can set it that if we don't want somebody that has a holstered gun, because we have law enforcement that come on our campuses, it does not have to alert that. So there are things that we can do. This is kind of the next state-of-the-art piece that's out there right now. The ability to be able to detect guns, both inside and outside the building, but certainly if somebody, all of those cases where folks have come outside of the school, tried to break into the school, or actually broke into the school and did damage to the individuals, this system would alert us that they're there and we can shut down before they ever get to our building. It would alert resource officers exactly who they are. The way the camera system works, it follows them and will tell you it goes to the next camera. So we will know exactly where they are at all times. So resource officers would know exactly where that person with that gun is. So that's something that we're looking at. I mentioned the Raptor system, which is an emergency management communication system that's phone-based. We're looking at, you hear metal detector. We're looking at the Open Gate system, which is a weapon detection system that is standard that we would be able to set up at ball games for folks to go through. We would be able to set it up at our schools on a rotating basis where we could bring them in, set them up, and let students know that anytime to be tested with it, we could have alarm systems, metal detectors that would allow us to run our school. So that is something that we're looking at. And then one of the big issues we've had with being able to have a metal detector system is who would man it. You have to have an individual with a gun. If you don't have an individual with a gun, you defeated yourself. Because if somebody comes in with a gun, what are you going to do if you don't have someone there armed? Defender Systems is a system that Greenville County is using, Anderson 5 is using. These are former law enforcement officers, former military that go through a SLED proof training that actually have the ability to arrest folks in our state, are deputized as kind of constables. And they would be the folks we would look at to contract. As you know, law enforcement, if we ask it to provide, they have a hard time getting a resource officer, much less if we ask for extra officers to come in and run our weapons detection systems for us. They just don't exist. And also, it would be a lot more expensive. So these are all the things that, several things we're looking at. We're looking at some other things, but just wanted you to know, you have told us clearly you want us to be proactive in safety, and so we really are looking at being proactive in safety, and believe any and all these will be things that will help us and make us even safer. Yes, sir.
Maybe this question for you, so what is it? So basically, 3 and 4 Open Gate and Defender Services, they're kind of like go hand in hand.
Yes, sir.
You don't need, without one, you don't get the other.
That's right. Yes, sir.
So of these things, what is the timeline on this? Have we established a timeline or anything on any of these?
So the OnAlert system, we got the servers in today. So within the next 2 weeks, we will begin testing that process in our schools. As far as the Open Gate and Defender services, Dr. Wilson, you might want to get
we just got bids on those. The Open Gate system, this is a movable system, so we want to have the ability to go set up like at ball games, like we'll set up at some basketball games this year, and be able to have, when we have large crowds, feel a little safer that people are walking to basketball games with a weapon. So we're looking at those systems are very expensive. For each of those, a pair of those is going to be around $40,000. So if you've got 4 of them, you'll be looking at probably $80,000 just for the equipment itself. And then we would be looking at, depending on the number of days and how we use them, we're probably looking at somewhere around $100,000, between $50,000 and $100,000 over the entire school year for Defender services. I think we were looking at more like 40 for the rest of this year that would cover us being able to bring in. We would need one, if you've got a system, you gotta have a person there with a gun. They are trained to actually do the searching, so our administrators don't have to search. They again, are deputized. The other thing that's good for them, law enforcement will tell you, probable cause is a lot more difficult and a difficult task than suspicion. We have to have reasonable doubt in the school system, which is very different than probable cause. These folks can actually search based on reasonable doubt because they are not actual law enforcement. They have the same authority that a principal would have. If we think you have something, we have reason that you have something in your pockets, we can ask you into your pockets. whereas law enforcement has to have probable cause to do that, which is a much higher level. So, we feel like that these are all things that we can do and are at least reasonable in cost.
We've looked at any anticipated cost that would be significant cost with maintenance or technology, anything like that, that we could either push off for a year or two, if it were an HVAC system or something like that, or what we need. We feel like if we have the funds available from our local option sales tax, if we wanted to move forward with purchasing the open gate metal detectors, a couple of sets of those. And we have talked with our finance department, and we feel like, based on how revenues have come in the last couple of years, that we would be able to afford the cost if it were $40,000 to $50,000 to pay for defender services to work a few days a week, where we could randomly have them set up in different schools periodically, kind of like how Grant County does, just to have another deterrent and be able to use them during athletic events and things like that. We feel like the money's there. We continue to have to pitch things, but we feel like based on how things have gone and the feedback you guys had, we at least wanted to do our research to be able to present some of those financials to you all.
Any other questions?
See, you say I'm alert, I said.
I'm alert.
I'm alert. Is it uses AI? Is it just for visible weapons, or is it for concealed weapons?
These are visible. There may be other things coming down the pipe. AI's getting better and better every year.
Yeah, that's the reason I asked.
Yes, sir. Right now, the other systems are much more expensive, and they're not even available. Law enforcement, TSA and folks have some things, but no, sir. This would be, it's pretty amazing though. If you can go online and look it up. I mean, a little barrel coming out of the back, you can immediately see that and identify it as a barrel of a gun. If they have just showing anywhere. And the other thing, they've used AI, the way people have their hands and are moving in a long distance, so you can pick it up even though you can't see the gun. They know kind of how people will move and run with a gun. They can pick you up from a distance, and then it picks up the gun when it comes. So it's pretty amazing that the technology that's out there now.
From what I understand, it kind of ties in with our existing software.
Yes, sir.
So it's more the device and the software we have.
Yes, sir. The cameras we have, we were fortunate enough that we purchased a pretty good product that works with Vigilon. Is nationwide, work with just about everything, and it's pretty high quality vision.
Will this be in all the schools?
We'll be rotating it around. Yes, ma'am. We'll be rotating around the middle and high school, starting at the high school level, and working our way around.
Thank you, Dr. Wilson.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Ms. Upton, I don't know if this is something that you would want the board to make a motion and tell us that you want us to spend, would it be $80,000 for the equipment and then the additional, but that's over $100,000. If you want us to continue to research, or if you guys want us to actually move forward with this, tell me how y'all want to pursue.
I want to keep our kids safe.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. If you need a motion, you're talking
Yeah, I
about,
think so.
you're talking about for the defender services and the metal detector.
Yes, sir.
I'll make the motion that we move forward.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second.
So what are we voting on exactly?
My opinion, from what I understand, we've already bought the envelope.
Okay.
Okay, so we're making the motion, we've already have Raptor, so we're making the motion on the open gate weapons detection system and the defender service. So that was my motion.
Any other discussion? We're ready to vote. All those in favor, please show it by the uplifted hand. And that is unanimous.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay, the next item,
Good job, Dr. Wilson.
yes, very good.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Consideration to move the November board meeting to December 3rd, 2024.
Yes, ma'am. It's something we originally had the November board meeting, and it year of Thanksgiving break, and we considered moving it earlier in the month, and we continued to run into conflicts. So we felt like moving it back, and we don't normally have a meeting in December, but that pushes it back just a few days. Honestly, some of the points that Ms. DePasquale brought up, that it gives us some more time to get feedback from the state board and state legislature about some of the policies that are proposed for them. There's a couple of state board meetings that we can work through. I've got a couple of superintendent meetings at the State Department between now and then, so we can get some more feedback on exactly what our policies need to look like.
Okay, you've heard superintendent's recommendation to move our board meeting to December the 3rd, 2024. Do I have a motion? Ms. Ellison, do I have a second?
Second.
Ms. Hood, do I have any discussion? Hearing none, we're ready to vote. All those in favor, show it by the uplifted hand. And that is unanimous. Okay, item H is the building program update.
Yes, ma'am. We continue to work with the county on some of the infrastructure around the new Oak Hill Elementary School with some of the road improvements. Actually have a meeting on November 12th about getting some C funds to help with some of the road improvements. So hopefully next time we meet, I have a good report on that. If you've been by the site recently, there are walls going up. So it's really getting exciting out there. I also just want to thank Mr. Merritt. He got me connected with a lady in the community whose mom had worked at the original Oak Hill school. She was a student at the original Oak Hill school. And she is going to donate some bricks that she had on her property that are actually from the foundation of the original Oak Hill school. We've been able to track down some pictures since we met that show exactly how the building was laid out. But we're going to be able to put a nice little dedication to the original school at the entrance of the new school. We've gotten some of the bricks to our architects. They're going to design something really nice. So really excited about that. Ms. Miles is actually going to get connected with the lady and do a little story to kind of show where the original school was. Truly is the coolest thing. You're standing at the entrance of the original school. You can look across the interstate and see the new walls going up at our site. It was really just the neatest thing. She was able to walk us around where the bricks are and show us, like, this was my 3rd grade class, and we walked through here. These bricks right here are where the kitchen was. It was really neat to hear her tell stories.
I think that's great, and you know, it is Mr. Merritt's first school in his area,
Yes.
so I think this is great. Thank you, Mr. Merritt.
Very nice. And so there's just all kinds of different parts of the building.
Yeah, it's fascinating because you had 2 sets of front steps. One went into like a main classroom, and it really was a big school. But you have a double set of steps that are kind of like these, you know, and then you have another just regular set of steps. and the chimney where the heat place, the wood, you know, it was really fascinating.
That's good, I'm glad.
Very neat.
Anything else under building program update, Dr. Dillon?
And we continue to work. We've got a meeting right after Election Day at Concrete with the architects to continue to look at what the exact plans will be there to update Concrete primary. So by the next meeting, I'll have a good plan to show you all.
Good. Item I, personnel.
You have one retirement on the list, but I will just go ahead and give you a heads up. It's officially hiring season. We've got a lot of our folks who are at Anderson University today, interviewing some of their graduates that are going to be student teaching this winter and this spring. We were at Clemson University last week, meeting their folks. So Ms. Brooks, Ms. Brady, Ms. Tollison, and their team are out and about. By December 3rd, we will definitely have some new teachers for you guys to meet. We're really excited about that.
Okay, good. Well, they always do a good job, so we're not worried about that. All right, we'll move to item number 9, and that is to adjourn. Do I have a motion?
I so moved.
Mr. Mayor, do I have a second? Mr. Wilson. All those in favor, please stand. And don't forget to go vote.